All right, guys, so the importance of food in marijuana recovery. You might be asking, how does food play a role in getting sober from marijuana? That's a great question. I'm gonna explain it here. So as you know, food plays a big part in our mood. And when you're getting sober, as you might know, the mood might be kind of low. There's a big change in dopamine, neurochemicals, all that stuff is rebalancing. And I found personally that I had a lot of lows. I wasn't feeling that great. And I see that with a lot of other people I help coach as well. So any way you can find to make yourself feel a little bit better, 1 to 2% even, is really gonna help in the long term. And it might help you get to that next day, right? Just help you realize, okay, I feel okay enough to where I can make it to tomorrow. And that's the name of the game with marijuana recovery, is to get to the next day and then to get to the next day. Just start stacking days on top of each other. What you might find, and what I find too with people that I coach, and I found with myself, is that after a little while, for me it was like a couple months, for a lot of people it's like 30 days, they're like, hey, I put in a lot of work to get to where I am. It really isn't worth it to ruin all that to go and just have a fun night and smoke weed and, ruin all the progress I have. So if you can really get through those withdrawal periods, what I find is a lot of people are able then to stay off. And they've had so much time without weed, right? If you go 30 days, that even if they do relapse, they're like, okay, I still like actually being sober better. Like it's not the same as it was before. So with food especially, if you can start eating healthy, that it really may help you start to just feel a little bit better and get through that process a little easier. So the first thing I recommend eating is any sort of leafy green. And here's why. Leafy greens have a magnesium in it. So kale, spinach, even just lettuce. And magnesium is a natural calming agent. So as you know, when you quit weed, your anxiety might be kind of high. And so finding anything that can help mellow you out is really gonna, again, help you get through the day and maybe feel a little more at peace, right? So before we get into number 2, what I do for a living is I help people quit marijuana. So if marijuana has been controlling your life and you really just wanna find freedom, maybe you've been trying on your own and just hasn't been working, then I invite you to book a call with me down below. We'll hop on a Zoom for about 45 minutes. I can get to know you and find out where you are in your journey and what I can do to best help you. Because a lot of times what I find is sometimes it's just a simple mindset shift that really makes the difference. So I know for me, whenever I'm trying something new that's gonna be very difficult, I make sure that I have people in my life that can help me, guide me through it, and kind of help me avoid the mistakes that they made and that hurt them in their process. And so that's what I did. I made a ton of mistakes so you don't have to, and also to help you see that it is possible to quit weed and live a life, an awesome life without marijuana. With relationships, with friends, with amazing experiences, that is all possible. Hey, I still go out to clubs sometimes, but I don't drink or smoke or do any of that stuff, and I have a blast. Just vibing to the music, right? So whatever goal you have for your life, I wanna help support you in that journey and encourage you to realize that you can get there. It's gonna take some work, but you can absolutely get there with the right mindset. So again, if that's something you are interested, book a call down below. I look forward to meeting you. So number 2 is to eat really healthy meats. So a few things, meat has vitamin B in it, which is gonna, again, help with anxiety and mood. It also, when you eat the organic, the grass-fed, the grass-finished, pasture-raised, it does something to the body and to the soul and the mind, and I'll tell you why. So when they kill an animal, as you know, they just chop its head off, right? When that happens, a ton of cortisol and stress gets released throughout the body of the animal. So, and if you ever notice that the meat that is like cheap, it's kind of hard, it's like chewy. And that is because all that stress, all that cortisol just went into the entire cow or chicken or whatever it is. So when you eat that, you're essentially eating that stress, you're eating that fear. And again, as you might guess, it's gonna jack up the anxiety, even if it's subtle. So what happens when you eat the grass-fed, grass-finished beef, they inject it. So it dies without that stress. And obviously the meat's a lot healthier then, and you don't eat that fear, you don't eat that stress. And so that's really what I recommend and what I did when I started eating meat again after I got clean. I actually went vegan, which I don't recommend. I didn't do it right, and I lost a lot of weight and I got really unhealthy. But in terms of when I started eating meat again, let me tell you, I started eating the good stuff and I felt great. All that vitamin B, just eating really good, healthy amounts of protein to help my brain, help my mind, help my spirit. It really did change my life. And so that's the second thing I recommend. The last thing I recommend is to cut back on the refined foods, the carbohydrates, the greasy stuff, processed foods, all the above. that is only gonna make you more depressed, more miserable, more wanting to seek out more pleasure. And if you are in that vulnerable state of quitting marijuana, the first thing that makes sense, of course, is to go pick up the joint again. All that food is filled with so much sugar that it triggers that addictive, like I want it. And that's why if you look like in America, for example, the overweight epidemic is crazy because it's basically people just become addicted to that food. And so in cutting that stuff out, or at least doing your best, because hey, I get it. Sometimes you're gonna have a tough day. You just need like a piece of cake or whatever, or some ice cream. The less you can do that though, and the less you can sit through those emotions when they do come up, the stronger you're gonna get for one. And two, you're not gonna be going through those crazy up and downs. So though you might not be like elated and you might have to go through some crap where you're like, this sucks, when you do have those good moments throughout the day, they're gonna be really good, I promise you. And they're gonna feel clean and they're gonna feel pure, and they're just gonna be like, wow, this makes life worth living. I am a part of life. I'm not just watching it like in the distance behind my, basically like watching a movie. I'm in the movie, and that's why I stay as far away as I can from that stuff. I'll be honest, I have been trying it out a little bit to see what happens as I'm trying to put on some weight, and every time I do, I've experienced just like what I told you, those highs, those lows, that wanting more. And so today I had a clean day of eating, yesterday I had a clean day of eating, and I'm looking forward to another one tomorrow. And again, to feel that aliveness, to feel that joy for life. So guys, with that, that's gonna end the video. If you have any food hacks, comment down below. Again, you can book a call with me for one-on-one sobriety coaching down below in the description. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.